Hi, I'm Gary Lineker and you're listening to Six Towns Radio.
Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
Thanks very much for joining us on Six Towns Radio, Gary.
It's okay.
Now, how is it that you would get involved with Walker's Crisps and bringing on a brand new millionaire? Tell us a story.
Well, we did do as a flavour campaign a couple of years ago where we asked the British public to come up with the next flavour, if you like, to compete with the salt and vinegars and cheese and onions of this world, and it proved to be hugely popular. So we decided to do it again, but this time on a sort of larger scale, and as you said, there's £1 million for the person who finds the next flavour. So we'll get everyone to put their flavours in, use your imagination, knock it down to 6, and then the great British public will decide on our winner.
It's a fantastic prize, isn't it? I mean, for Walkers to offer that sort of money for a new crisp variety, I mean, obviously everybody's remembers the salt and Lineker flavour, and there's been a number of other great pairings and your favourites such as pork and apple and bacon and eggs and lamb and mint as well. What's your favourite flavour?
Mine's salt and vinegar, actually, and if anyone comes up with a better flavour than salt and vinegar, they'll get my vote.
Now, last year's finalists were Cajun Squirrel, Builder's Breakfast and Fish and Chips. Yeah. And we in the Potteries are big fans of the oatcake. Have you ever tried an oatcake? I think I've had moat cake, yes. Yeah, because way back when I had it, definitely. We're big time on the oatcakes in Stoke-on-Trent, and we think that cheddar cheese and oatcake, so we're going to offer that one to Walkers. And you stick it in there. Just go online, walkers.co.uk, stick your oatcake and cheddar. Was it cheddar? Cheddar, absolutely. Yeah, stick that in, and you've got half a chance. Who knows? Wonderful. Now, Gary, turning to football, what are you thinking at the moment about Big Sam? What do you think his chances of keeping hold of his job? Well, I always wonder about when people start speculating about whether people are under pressure or not, because generally nowadays the clubs are owned by wealthy owners, and it's only those people that will decide. Now, it's all very obvious when a side are getting bad results that a manager is under the cosh, and when they're getting good results, they're not. So the fact that West Ham is clearly struggling and been given 2 good spankings in the last few days suggests that Sam might be under pressure. But for all we know, Messrs Sullivan and Gold actually love Sam and they want to keep him there forever. But only they really know the answer to that question. And in defence for him, Nottingham Forest played absolute blinder against them in the Cup, and Man City just did what Man City did yesterday. I don't think. It's very, very difficult going to Manchester City at the moment. They're knocking goals in for fun on the home ground at least. So, and that was difficult. I think that there's an argument that playing the kids at Notts Forest was Nottingham Forest, I should say, was probably not the wisest thing to do, because you want to try and keep momentum or gain some momentum when things are not going well. But their squad's pretty frail at the moment, so I'm sure he was doing his most important thing for them is staying in the Premier League, and their squad's a bit depleted with injuries, etc. So there are circumstances, and they probably need to act more in this window. He's a thoroughly nice bloke, isn't he? So fingers crossed that. He's a good guy. Yeah. Moving on to Man City then. Quadruple, do you think? Well, I think that's asking quite a lot, isn't it? It's a lot of games, isn't it? It's a lot. It's a lot of games, and it's but they're in there. They're in there fighting in all competitions, and that's what big clubs want. They've got a huge squad. In that sense, they can cope with it. But I would imagine if you said just the Premier League title now, they'd take that. Yeah, I expect they would do. Yeah. And moving on to the Potteries. Mark Hughes seems to have settled in quite nicely at Stoke. Yeah, I know Mark Hughes very well. I played with him in Barcelona way back when. So he's organised. He's very bright, Mark, and he's done a good job, because that was always going to be difficult. Yeah, taking over from Tony Pulis, and this trying to change slightly the style that they play. And I think he's done that gradually, and he's done it sensibly, and I think that was important. If he'd done sort of some massive drastic change immediately, it could have ended up in tears, I think. Yeah, a lot of the press are now banding around Fortress Britannia again. Well, that's always important. They've done well at home this season, and for any side, if they can make their place a difficult place to go and play, a difficult place to get a result, it holds you in good stead. Then any success you have on your travels is a bonus.
Yeah, moving on to Vale, being a big Valiant that I am. I mean, Mickey Adams has done a fantastic job to get the team to where he has from promotion last season. But the big stickler that's always there is the money situation. Do you think there's any resolution to that in the British game?
Well, I mean, different clubs will suffer and find it difficult to cope. We've got a lot of clubs now dependent on rich owners. Some of those things have worked out well, some of them not so well. So it's a constant issue for clubs, especially clubs that are not that particularly wealthy. And so yeah, of course, it's difficult times, and unless you can generate massive income through either big turnstile revenue or TV, then you just try and make ends meet. It's difficult.
Yeah, and I know that Michael Owen was trying to promote a new scheme to help the smaller clubs with some of the reserve team and youth players from the Premiership. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's quite good for those young players to get out there and get experience of playing in the lower leagues, and I think we're seeing a lot more of that these days because it's a lot of loan players going out there and gaining experience, which is obviously a way that an affordable way that smaller clubs in the lower leagues can cope.
Yeah. Now, to finish off then, Gary, I'd just like to play a quick game of true or false with you.
Ooh.
So, first question, never been booked in your professional career, true or false?
True.
Very good, well done, sir.
Never tackled anyone.
Gaza calls you Junior Des after presenting legend Des Lynam.
That was certainly the case during 1990 World Cup, yes. True.
And have you ever lived that down?
False.
Your dad had a 16-1 bet on you that you'd get the golden boot in Mexico 86 World Cup. True or false?
True. I think it was 6. It might have been 14-1, but yeah, it was definitely had a bet on me. Yeah.
So did you help him spend the spoils?
No.
Your middle name is Winston.
True.
You're an OBE.
True.
And you play off scratch.
False. Very false.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us on Boots, Bats and Balls on 6 Towns Radio, Gary. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Take care. Cheers.
Cheers. All the best.
Thanks.